Hello everyone, and this is a new channel. This is a new venture for me. I already have a YouTube channel where I talk about fragrances, but I'm using this channel to do something completely different. I've decided to go alcohol free, to go sober. And I thought that if I was to record my journey here on YouTube, it would make me more accountable and more likely to stick with it. So I hope that's the case. I have started off by saying I'm going 1 month sober. So here we are on the 1st of January 2024, New Year's Day. And I did drink last night. I drank just past midnight, well, till about 2 a.m. So officially, I'm going to say 2 a.m. was the last time I had a drink on New Year's Day. And we'll see what I can do. So I don't want to sit here and say I'm aiming for a whole year or I am aiming to never drink again, although I see that as a really fabulous goal and something that I would love to achieve. I don't want to set myself up with too strong a challenge that will feel overwhelming that I might not be able to do. So just a little bit about my drinking. At the moment, or as it has been, I do not consider myself an alcoholic at all. I don't drink every day. I am more of a binge drinker, and I think that I use alcohol mostly to relax me and relax my inhibitions, because when I'm out socially, I can be a little bit shy, a little bit introverted, conscious of what people think of me, too conscious. I do have some issues with people pleasing that I'm trying to work on, and I think that we could go really, really deep, and maybe we will. I'm not going to go too deep right now, but I have been drinking my whole life. I didn't come out of my mummy's tummy drinking alcohol, but I started drinking at quite a young age. My parents would allow us to have a small drink on special occasions from about the age of 13. I was allowed maybe a baby sham, a cinzano and lemonade. And so I didn't really get drunk when I was that young, but I did feel a bit tipsy from a couple of drinks that I was allowed to have. My parents weren't big drinkers. And then I got really drunk when I was 13 years old. 13 years old, I pretty much downed. I just mixed half a bottle of vodka with, I think it was orange juice or even Tango type, like orange fizzy drink. And I just downed it almost in one go, really, really quickly. And I was with my brother and his friends. We were supposed to be camping out in one of his friends' gardens. And it all got very, very messy. I ended up kissing one of my brother's friends who I actually really didn't like. But I ended up snogging him, and then I was so bad that they had to get my parents to come and carry me home. I remember waking up in my parents' bed. They didn't want to let me sleep on my own because they thought that I might throw up and choke myself. I have a memory of them carrying me home and my mum saying to me, Don't fall asleep, Claire, don't fall asleep, you will die. If you close your eyes, you will die. And I remember a thought in my head, like, I don't care, and I let myself pass out. So that was my first time getting drunk, like properly drunk. And really it set the tone for the rest of my life. I'm looking away, like I'm ashamed. I feel like crying actually, because of the amount of times I've got myself into quite serious trouble because I've drunk to such an excess that I've completely lost control. And me and my friends will laugh about these things once, time has passed, but it's not funny. It is not funny. And I do have shame and embarrassment about certain things that have gone on because I've been so out of control and drunk. I would say that I drink, or I have been drinking. It depends on my work pattern. I don't drink when I'm working, and I work 12 hours, and sometimes I do day shifts, sometimes I do night shifts. I generally don't drink if I'm doing the either of those shifts, but occasionally I might drink in the evening at the end of a day shift. But I don't drink a lot at home. I don't drink to excess when I'm at home on my own. The problem is if I go out, and I would say that, again, depending on my shift pattern, but I probably go out anywhere between 4 and 6 times a month, and generally drink to a degree of excess. So most of the time nothing too bad happens, but occasionally I go too far, and I think this is what triggered it. It was just this Saturday night. I woke up and came downstairs and found all my clothes soaking wet. My coat, I've got this beautiful coat, soaking wet and covered in mud. I found a small injury on my knee. So I obviously walked home in the pouring rain and fell over, and potentially have ruined this beautiful, it's 100% wool coat. I'm going to take it to the dry cleaners. And there was mud on my handbag, and my jeans were wet and muddy. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing, but it was a trigger. So I'm not going to focus too much on that now. I've cleaned everything up. I've got to take the coat to the dry cleaners. But it was a trigger for me. This cannot go on. I cannot. I imagine what could have happened to me. I mean, and I have no memory. This is the problem. My memory stopped from sitting in the pub. And I remember sitting there with a glass with my drink, and then I have no memory. I don't remember walking out of the pub. I don't remember anything. I don't know why I didn't get an Uber when it was pouring down with rain. I'm just clueless, and it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing. If you're watching this, then if you had similar experiences, you'll know it is awful. And so yeah, I decided that. I mean, I had such a bad hangover the next day as well. New Year's Eve. Basically, I stayed in bed till pretty much 3 p.m. Just got up to feed the cat and get a drink and go to the loo. And I couldn't really function till, I couldn't get out of bed till 3. And then I was really slow and really low energy. And then I had to go to a party, which was really nice actually. And I decided to drink really slowly, weak drinks. And I did have a really nice time, but I knew that I was quitting. Like, that was it. That was my last night. That's my trigger for why I want to do this. I did have a month off last year. Or was it a year before? It might have been the year before. I did take a month off drinking once, quite in the recent couple of years. But I never really had a strong intention for it to last longer than that at that point. And my drinking wasn't as bad because I was in a relationship, so I wasn't going out on my own or with girlfriends. It was, generally it was much more controlled, less drinking, less craziness. I think being on my own, it's not ideal maybe. And so yeah, that's why I think that's my why. Well, actually, I've written down a list. I thought it'd be useful for me to write down my whys, because apparently whenever you're setting a goal or an intention, you need to have a why. You need to know the why so that you can stick to it and remind yourself. So I have written down my whys. Looking for better health. I'm hoping that I'll lose weight. It makes me tired. Even if I only drink a few drinks, I still feel tired. Ruins the next day if I'm hungover. I embarrass myself, fall over, ruin clothes, put myself at risk, make bad decisions, feel ill, it costs money. I'll have better productivity and more energy and more time to do good, healthy, wholesome things. So that's what I've got on my why at the moment. And then I also have another list of, I've got 2 other lists here. What I'm afraid of, I don't know who I am without drinking. And it sounds a little bit extreme, but what I mean is so much of what I do is tied in with drinking. Whenever, I meet friends, the things I do in my time off often include drinking. And it's going to be quite difficult for me to find alternatives. And for me to feel like I'm having fun, because when I drink alcohol, I do feel like I'm having fun. So that's a big one. I'm afraid of being stiff and inhibited in social settings. The reason I drink, and the reason I've always drunk from a child, is because it loosened me up, because I am so self-conscious. And so yeah, I'm afraid of, when it comes to having to go out into social settings without the aid of a drink, that I'm going to find it difficult to connect with people, to have meaningful conversations, which I can. I love a meaningful conversation, but I think being a bit oiled just helps me. And I can't dance. I won't really sing along to a band without that inhibitions being loosened up by alcohol. So I'm worried about that. I'm worried about it affecting my friendships, because most of my friends drink. It's kind of like, it's our thing, you know, as is with a lot of friend groups. So they might find me boring. They might not enjoy my company as much when I'm not drinking, and I won't have as many funny stories for them. So yeah, that's the thing. And I'm worried about planned, you know, proper planned events, special events, how to get through those without a drink. And just generally, I lack confidence without a drink. And so that's what I'm afraid of. And then my last list is all the things to do when bored. So I thought I would write down some stuff that I can refer to if I really feel like I want to go down the pub, if I really feel like I want to have a drink. I've written some things to do instead, and just to fill my time, now that I will have more time because I'm not going down the pub, and then I'm not wasting a whole day the next day with a hangover. So here we are. Read. I love reading. Long bath, face masks, YouTube videos, so for this channel, and also my fragrance reviews, written reviews. I can write more reviews of fragrances for Instagram. Journaling. I really should try that. Apparently it's good for you. Walking, riding, paddleboarding, just basically exercising, getting outdoors. The things I enjoy. Meeting friends for coffee, shopping. I like a bit of shopping, but obviously I don't want to do that to excess, because I know it's not the healthiest thing on this list. Decluttering. I do love a bit of a declutter in the home, and also my wardrobe, decluttering or styling, sort of trying on different outfits and things. I quite enjoy doing that. I go into charity shops. I like buying and selling things on eBay, and I like to go to charity shops. I generally buy things that for me, but if I get home and it doesn't work, it doesn't fit, or I don't like it as much with my other stuff, then I'll sell it on eBay. I visit my dad, improve my cooking. I mean, I don't really do much cooking, so that there's a lot of room for improvement there. Going to the cinema, watching films on my TV, baking, volunteering, singing and dancing to Alexa. It's something I really do enjoy doing, and I can enjoy that sober. And then finally, plan a business or a side hustle. So there's a list I've quickly cracked up? I don't know what I was trying to say. There's a list of things I can do to keep me entertained and keep me on the right path. So yeah, this is it, day one. Let me know if you're going to follow on and see how I get on. Let me know where you are in your journey, if you are on an alcohol-free journey, or if you're just contemplating it, then please do comment, and we can all support each other. So that's it then. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you very soon.